Good to be back.
Yeah?
It's been, a couple weeks, I think, since we did the last podcast.
It's been a little bit.
Took a little short hiatus.
Had a bunch of stuff happen since the last pod.
Yeah, you said you got a lot to talk about, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, dude, so made a bunch of life decisions since the last pod, actually. So talked to you guys a while ago. Pretty much my whole life I wanted to go into the military. I remember ever since, kindergarten, that's just something that I wanted to do. So came to college and did Air Force ROTC for one semester. Decided definitely not for me. It's just not something that I want to do. I kind of realized with the job that I wanted to do, I would literally be 29, almost 30 by the time I got out and had control over my own life. So just kind of decided I don't want to be controlled for the entirety of my 20s and be told what to do. So I'm going to figure something out, do what I want to do, take control over my own life.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Explore the world.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did it at the end of the day, because otherwise I would have not known for sure whether or not it was for me. So really happy that I ended up trying it out.
Yeah.
Making the decision.
Yeah, absolutely. You think going forward, they say live your life with no regrets, right? Do you think going forward you're going to have any regrets about not continuing?
About not doing it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think so, because this opens up an infinite number of paths for me, whereas otherwise I would literally have one and be told what to do constantly for pretty much 10 years.
Yeah.
And if I graduate with a bachelor's degree, if I find myself still wanting to become an officer in the military, I could go to officer training school, which is 3 months, and then still go down the same path.
Right.
So it's not like I've burned any bridges or anything.
Yeah.
I could still do that if I wanted to. But
Yeah.
Yeah, push it later down in life, man.
yeah, I know you wanted to do the same thing. You have a similar experience to me, right?
Yeah, I did I was going to join the Air National Guard, but decided against it. But that was more, I guess it was kind of similar, because I did want my own freedom, a little bit. I mean, it's you're dedicating, for me, it would be at least 6 years of my life to the military.
Right.
And then it's but free college and opportunities through the military was obviously the plus side of it. But for me, mostly, it just didn't fit in my timeline. I wanted to go to UMass, and if I was going to do the military after going to HCC, I would have to wait a whole year. So I wouldn't even be in this situation right now, and I would be even further back in my life. And I wanted it to continue. I didn't want to be restricted, set back.
Right.
Because I would be a junior next year.
Right. Yeah, and there's things obviously, I didn't have any path towards the military or any draw to it, but I've talked to buddies of mine that are in the Navy and trying to do it in the military, Marines and stuff like that. But they say that there's other aspect to it, not so much just the benefits, but the discipline you learn, going through boot camp and that kind of stuff. You don't really learn that anywhere else. I mean, sure, you can learn to be disciplined, but that's just another level of having your day down to the minute of what you're doing, and everything's for a reason, and making a product of yourself. I mean, you see it with fighters a lot, MMA fighters, because that's what I follow. They schedule out their time so much because they have a product, and their product is themselves. And so working out, training, doing the hit bag, sparring, jiu-jitsu, stuff like that, they know exactly what time in the day they have to do that in order for them to be at peak performance. If they do it 30 minutes beforehand, they're gonna screw themselves for the next fight, which I think is crazy. And I've heard my friends talk about the military kind of in the same sense, where it's you have to do things at a certain time, exactly at that time every day, and if you don't do it at that day, it just messes the whole system up, kind of thing. So I think that's an insane benefit already. Once you get out, even to just have that kind of discipline in your life sets you above so many people that aren't disciplined, for lack of a better phrase.
For sure. There's definitely so many benefits that you can't really get anywhere else. But for me, I just kind of weighed out the benefits versus being controlled for 10 years of my life.
Right.
And it's not that's all bad, they would let you travel, they would be paying you enough. But I don't know. I don't want to have the next 10 years written out for me.
Right.
That just sounds like really depressing in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what path I have, but I want to find out.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, there's got to be a happy medium because either, I say it sets you above, but also there are other things you learn from doing what you want to do and exploring yourself and, trying to be better, well-rounded person that you don't necessarily get when you're in the military. So, like, it's a give and a take kind of thing.
Exactly.
With everything. Everything's a give and a take, but it's just about, like, your priorities and what you feel like is more important for you in your life. Like, personally, I feel being more well-rounded is more important for me in my life. Like, yeah, I try to be disciplined, going to the gym, stuff like that. Most of the time, that goes out the window the next day. Like, I have a really hard time with time management and discipline and that kind of stuff, but I have an easier time, like, being more well-rounded and knowing a little bit about a lot and, watching documentaries and stuff like that I didn't think I would want to, but then I turn it on just because of the curiosity of it, and then I end up really liking it. Like, not for anything, that's how I got into, like, MMA and watching it and that kind of stuff and following it. Was one day there was a fight on, and I was literally like, screw it, let's put it on. Like, I've never watched one before, and I did, and immediately fell in love with it. I was like, this is awesome. Like, this has been going on. Like, people do this. And so, that's kind of how I just went with that. I mean, baseball for me, it kind of filled so much time in my life. So, and, anyone out there that played baseball, attempted to play college baseball, but it doesn't even have to be that. Anyone that did something for so long, 6 hours a day doing something, and now you're not, you have so much empty space in your life.
You need to start training jiu-jitsu.
I want to.
I think you would love it.
I think we talked about this off air, but like, there's classes next semester. I think you were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sign up for. Like, whenever the sign-ups come up, I'm
Do
gonna
it.
sign up for them because it is something that I think I would enjoy.
You said you're leaving. When are you leaving this week?
Friday.
Okay, yeah. So the classes are Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But now next semester I'm definitely looking into that. Kickboxing. I want to see if they have a kickboxing thing because all throughout high school I was taking kickboxing lessons and I loved it. And I just didn't the first 2 years of college because I was playing baseball, so that took up all my time. Like, I had no other time to do anything else. So, but now that I do, I want to get back into it. Stuff like that. It's hard, again, as I was saying before, when you do something for so long, you have so much empty space, so you're kind of like, well, now what do I do with myself? Like, you kind of I found myself.
That's why you would love jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yeah.
There's so much, like, it's such a cool skill, and you notice when you first start, just like with anything else, you learn everything so quickly. Just right when you start, right when you jump in. If you do it for literally like 1 month, and you train with someone who's never done it before, you'll be able to realize like that how much you learn just because of how much stuff that you can do to them that they can't see what's coming.
Right.
It's all about like seeing the moves ahead. We talked about chess. I think chess is a lot like jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's all about thinking about the next move.
Right.
And as you get better and better, you're like 5 steps ahead, 6 steps ahead. Like, you're always thinking ahead.
Right.
And it's
That's why I
so
suck
cool
at
to me.
chess.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
I can't think ahead. It's so fucking hard for
Yeah.
me.
I think I think you do think ahead, but you think 2 ahead. Because, like, when I've played video games with you, like, when we're playing NHL, you think, like, 3 passes ahead, and you're not focused on the pass that you're doing now.
Yeah.
So, like, you screw yourself because you pass it to the wrong guy, but because you're trying to, like, say you're, down behind your goal, right, and you're trying to run a play. Like, you pass it to, like, a winger or something, when in reality, like, you wanted to, like, pass to your defender, then the center, then the winger to get the score kind of thing. But you go right to the winger,
Yeah.
and so sometimes that, like, screws you up. So I think you don't, it's not that you don't think ahead, you think 2 ahead.
That's a
Would you
fair
agree?
point.
Would you
Yeah.
agree, or is that
I mean, I would
false?
I feel like that that makes me seem better, so I want to agree with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, I think a lot about things like
Yeah.
search like video games, like thinking ahead, like what's the next
Phone
move.
conversation. I mean this in the most loving way. Phone conversations with you are a headache, because like you're thinking about so much at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, let's focus on where we're eating first. Like, we'll go there, we'll go to Burke, we'll eat, and then we'll figure out about class, and then we'll figure out about
That's
this.
so funny.
Yeah.
Do you
But-
tell me, do you have ADHD?
Yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah. 1000%, bro.
Yeah.
I am ADHD child. I more recently, I've just been like telling everyone, I'm like, yeah, I have ADHD. Like,
Yeah.
Don't be shocked by what I do.
You're like diagnosed like.
I was when I was like, I think it was in 4th grade is when I got diagnosed. At least that's when I started like taking medication.
Not to sound
and stuff.
insensitive, but do you have anything like?
No, but I've done some research on ADHD, and it's kind of crazy. Like, I'm sure, like, obviously there's people like you who know that you have it,
Yeah.
but there's a bunch of kids that they're prescribing, like amphetamine, like Adderall to, that just kids that can't sit still through a whole day of elementary school, which, like, our bodies aren't meant to do anyway, which is
Right.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, there's so many kids who are being put on these drugs that simply should not be put on them.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's a whole other topic, but like, yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Like, I used to say this, and I've kind of gotten a little more lenient about it now, and I'm not so harsh. But I used to be, like, medication and the medical field is the new banking, where a lot of it is money driven, and so when they get a kid in their office that's maybe a little bit ticky, like can't really sit still and stuff like that, they immediately go straight to, you need this pill to make you focus, you need this and this and this, when in reality, like you were just saying, we're not meant to do that.
No.
A 5-year-old is not meant to sit in a kindergarten class
Yep.
and just sit there the whole day and focus and learn the ABCs and stuff like that. They can't do that.
Yeah,
They
it's insane.
mentally and physically cannot do that. Their body isn't progressed enough
Yeah.
to be able to just sit there.
But doctors are like incentivized to tell the parents, here, just give him this,
Right.
and he'll be better.
Right.
Like hard drugs
Yeah.
to help them.
Right.
And it's insane. I don't know.
It's absolutely bonkers to me. I mean, I am not going to pass to be a doctor, of course not, but like, I think there are so many things you could do apart from drugs to help people do things. Like, I mean, we had talked about it on a previous podcast where like depression and stuff like that, diet and exercise have so much to do with that. Like, start with that
Mhm.
before you go to the antidepressant.
Right.
Like, why are you going immediately to the pill?
Yeah, and it's because the doctors, the educated professionals, are like telling the parents that your kids need this.
Right.
So instantly they'll just be like, oh, okay,
All
I'll
right.
listen to the doctor
All right.
who knows his shit.
And you know what? I should like pace back on my statement a little bit. I understand if it's severe, that's a different story. Like, if you're, severely depressed like every day and it's ruining your life, then yeah, okay, figure out something to do about that. Like, take anything. Like, do anything that helps you. But if it's like mild, they say that there's these pills that cure mild depression now. It's like, you don't need a pill for that. Like, just fix your diet. How are you eating? Like, have a look in the mirror.
Yeah.
How are you
What are you
eating?
doing?
What are
How
you
you living?
doing? Right. How are you living? What's your quality of life? Are you sitting behind a screen all day? Whether it's for work or leisure, like either one. Like, are you sitting behind a screen all day?
Yeah, it's all about lifestyle.
Right. The human body is not meant to be sitting
No.
for 24 hours, let alone 48 hours, let alone an entire week. So, if you're not going out on walks even, like to try and help yourself, you're not helping yourself. Like, you're just digging a hole for yourself and then going, I don't know how I got in this hole.
Right.
I can tell you how you got in the hole. You've been sitting behind a screen for 72 hours straight.
Yeah. I had someone. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, I know friends who are on antidepressants or took that,
Mhm.
and that shit sounds awful. Like, they're
Yeah.
telling me about, like, if you don't take it consistently after you've been taking it for a certain amount of time, and like say you forget a
Yeah.
day of taking the pill, you get like what they call brain zaps. It literally feels like your brain's like getting
Because
zapped.
you become
Yeah.
addicted
Yeah,
to
you're
it.
Because
dependent.
Right.
You're
You're
dependent on the
right.
drug.
Right.
I have at the same. I've heard that, but I've also met people who have come off of them like to have kids, and
Yeah.
they've been fine.
Oh, really?
So it all depends. It's a
Yeah.
situational thing.
Everyone reacts to different chemicals and stuff like that differently. So
Right. I had someone really close to me get really depressed a year and a half ago, and I personally believe it was nutrition based,
Mhm.
and he was losing. He was at a really low body fat, and he looked sick. But our bodies aren't meant to have like such low body fat,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's not like
Unhealthy.
it's not like they were eating super healthy. I just think that they weren't eating enough.
Right.
And the body's reaction when you don't eat enough calories, basically all your hormones hit the shitter. They go down, like test goes down, and that can drive depression. So I think that's basically, like, in my opinion, that's why he became depressed. But at the same time, he started taking antidepressants, and they pretty much saved his life. So, like, you know, if they work.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying before. Like, if it's ruining your life and you need something, like, to fix it, it is a great fix. Like, you know, it is a more than moderate fix for something. But someone like me, I'm, like, on and off, where sometimes I'll get depressed, and then I'll start, like, thinking about stuff. I'll think about my whole life, and, like, I'll start to feel, like, trapped, almost like I used to use this analogy, but it's like I'm on the front of a train, and I'm, like, putting my heels into the tracks, and the train's just going sometimes, because, like, I'll think about stuff that happened 2 years ago, and in my head, it's like it happened yesterday, and, like, that'll depress the fuck out of me, because it's like my life is going by so fast, and, you know, obviously COVID didn't help. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely said this on a podcast. I went to sleep a junior in high school, woke up a junior in college.
Yeah.
Like,
it's insane.
4 years of my life just zapped by, like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think about that, it'll kind of, like, send me down into, like, a depression spiral, and I'll start, like, you know, getting really upset about things, and, you know, Nick knows, I'll start ranting about shit.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's not only depression.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, but you rant about other stuff.
Oh, no, I know. I realize that. I mean, I'm a talker.
You're like, Nick, I need to stop ranting to you. I'm like, guy, just who cares? Let it out, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a ranter, but no, like, you know, I'll start to feel really bad about myself, about, you know, the life, the path I'm taking, and stuff like that. But what I've noticed, if I, like, change up my diet a little bit and I go work out that day, like, when I'm feeling so bad, I go work out, I feel so much fucking better.
Yeah, it's huge.
When I leave the gym, or even when, like, I go to sleep that night because I had eaten well that whole day, I feel like 1,000 times fucking better. I, like, none of those thoughts come into my head. I'm like, you know, I mean, they come in, but it's a lot less than they were before. Like, I mean, ask my roommate Pat. Like, there have been days where I straight up, like, didn't want to get out of bed. Like, it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd been sleeping all day, and I didn't want to get out of bed. Because I had been so, like, mentally messed up, where it was like, I'm just going to sleep through the day and not worry about anything, just fucking, yeah. But that next day, or the days where I do that and I push myself to get up and, like, you know, go to the gym or go do something, go to a hockey game at Mullins Center or something like that, like anything, I feel 1,000 times better than if I just sat in that bed or went and played video games or watched a movie or something like that. Like,
I'm telling you that you would love jiu-jitsu, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like any other, it's a skill that you can progress at over time. And for me, I need those in my life to keep me on track, because otherwise I start to, like, go down like a spiral, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have activities like that you can consistently progress at over time, keep you on track.
And we were just talking about it at the beginning of this, but for me that was baseball.
Yeah.
My entire life was basically dedicated to that, and, you know, going to tournaments every weekend and practices every night, and, you know, driving an hour and a half to Hartford to go to practices for my travel team, like, every night. You know, most people I would talk to, they're like, why do you do all that? Because it distracts me. In all honesty, because it distracts me from my thoughts. And it gives me something to do that's not, like, sometimes when I focus on myself too much, that's where the depression comes. Like, you know, if I say, oh, I gotta work, in my head, I used to think this, I try not to now, but, like, in my head I was like, all right, I gotta work out so I look better. I gotta work out so I lose fat and I look better. That's a horrible mindset to have, because you're focusing on yourself. So when you look in the mirror and you see no results after that first time, it's deflating as fuck. Like, you don't want to do it anymore. You're like, oh, what's the point? I just worked out for, you know, 3 hours. Like, that's where you get those I forget exactly what it's called, but those people who work out for like 7 hours a day because they're just trying to lose it all in one turn. Like, that's not healthy.
No, body dysmorphia is a crazy thing.
Yeah, right.
It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, like, that's where you get those people where they go to they're like, they wake up, they feel terrible, and they're like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go to the gym for 7 hours today, and I'm going to run 84 miles, and I'm going to burn all this fat off, and I'll be a different human by the time I leave. And then they get an hour in, and they're exhausted.
Yeah.
because they've just been busting ass for an hour. And then they're like, what's the point? I can't do this. That is not the mindset you should have. It's a gradual thing. It's like brushing your teeth. If you don't brush your teeth twice a day, at some point your teeth are going to fall out of your head.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it happens. If you brush your teeth once, you're not going to see any results. If you brush your teeth twice, you're not going to see any results. 3 times, 4 times, same thing. But you will notice it if you don't. Working out's kind of the same thing, where, like, if you work out once, you're not going to see results. Twice, you're not going to see results. 3, 4, 5 times, you're not going to see results. But give it a month and a half, 2 months, you're going to start seeing some results. And, like, that's when that high kicks in and you become, like, addicted to it. Not addicted to it, that's the wrong word, but you want to do it.
I'm addicted. I mean, people ask me, like, how you stay motivated, and it's literally body dysmorphia. That's it. That's all you need. Like, it's a good and a bad thing. It sucks if it gets really bad and all you can think is, like, damn, I'm not as big as that guy, or I look kind of fat right now, even though you're, like, absolutely shredded. But at the same time, it's what keeps me motivated, like, to keep going, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, if I stop going, I'll just hate myself and look down on myself for it.
Right.
So.
I'm kind of struggling with that right now. I mean, I have been basically my whole life, but I'm kind of struggling that with right now because I, like, even a couple nights ago, I was looking at old pictures of myself and I was like, God, look how skinny I was. But I was the same way back then as I am now. Like, I haven't changed. And I mean, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't changed.
So you put on muscle or what?
No, like, I literally have not changed.
Oh.
But just in my head, I was like, oh, that was 2 years ago. Look how good I looked.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I look the same now. So I haven't changed. So why am I even entertaining this? You know what I mean? Like, it was like a sadness that I was just looking so good then, and now I'm not, quote unquote.
You look the same.
Even though I look exactly the same.
What's it called? I wanted to bring kind of, you're talking about how going to the gym makes you feel good and stuff.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that because, like, literally I feel like this week and kind of last week I've been having a hard time, especially with, like, focusing and, like, motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, my head's just been, like, totally just, like, blah. Even though, like, I don't even have a lot of work. I had, like, one project due. Like, fucking, I've been just doing final stuff, getting ready to leave, basically. And even last night, I did just a stupid little workout in my room. And
you felt better.
And I felt that my mind cleared up instantly, and I was like, let's fucking get shit done. And then I'm like, what do I have to get done? I have to study for my test. Like, great. I need this now.
Dude, I literally felt the same. Like, what you said, blah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to describe it.
All right, we're going to the gym.
You feel like blah.
I would recommend taking progress pictures because once you look at them over time, you'll get hooked. Once you start seeing results, you won't be able to stop.
Yeah. I did that senior year of high school and freshman year, and it really helped.
Yeah.
I was like, the biggest I've ever been was like I want to say like 230 freshman year of college, like November, because we did weigh-ins for baseball, and I stepped on that scale and I saw 230, and I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, I was 205 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I was like, what the actual fuck happened? So I started taking progress pictures. I started calculate take track of my calories, and I lost 30 pounds in a matter of a month.
Good shit.
Because I just, like, put my mind to it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, 100%. Like,
So
find little things to keep motivating yourself.
So you think that was one of your biggest, like, motivational moments for fitness? Was, like,
Absolutely.
seeing that scale?
Oh, yeah. When I saw my teammates stepping on it, and it was like, you know, these guys are fucking ripped. And so they're like 185, 195, like 205, but pure muscle.
Yep.
You know, 6'5", 225, but he's shredded. And then I step on and I'm 5'9", 230. I was like, ooh, that's not good. Like, that's...
But it's good because it was your triggering factor to motivate you.
Right.
So.
But my thing now is, like, I was also forced to train because of baseball, obviously. Now I don't have that force. Like, I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But in my head, it's like I have to do it. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to still push yourself to do things when you've been doing it for so long. You're kind of just like, oh, I'm done. Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you know, it's like you were saying. You got to find little motivations to just make it happen, make you keep going and stuff like that. You know, even this week, like, I've been kind of lazy because I've had no work. My finals week was the week before Thanksgiving break. Like, that's where all the work was. So when I got back, I had literally nothing. Like, I had one presentation, and it was last week. So this week, I've had nothing. And so I've been really lazy. like didn't even. My dad calls me yesterday, and do you guys have Life 360 on your phones?
No, thank God.
No, lucky ones.
I hope my parents don't watch this.
So-
Don't want.
I
Don't-
mean,
don't
I
give
mean,
him any
I mean,
ideas,
yeah,
Sean.
chill,
I
chill.
mean,
Alright, we're
Life-
cut.
I mean, Life 480. Life 480.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
I
look
got
that
lucky.
up.
My parents never knew what that was.
So I've had it since high school.
Did you get caught doing something?
No. So my dad calls me and he goes, "It says you haven't left your room since 10 a.m. yesterday." And I was like,
Oof.
"Yeah, you're not wrong." Like, I literally did. I think that was yesterday. So yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So from Monday at 10 a.m. to Tuesday when he called me at like 4, I had not left my room
Jeez.
because I had an 9 a.m. Monday where I had my presentation that ended at like 10. Went back to my room from 10 a.m. Monday to 4 p.m. Tuesday. I did not leave my room.
Okay, so you need one of like the skills that I was talking about that you can focus on and get better
Yeah,
at
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep you on track. Because right now you don't have baseball,
Right.
so you're kind of trying to find out like if you don't have anything to do, like I'm just gonna.
I'm trying to find out who I am without baseball right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Well, speaking of like a motivational moment, so the weigh-in with Sean's, do you have one of those, Hayden?
One of those.
Like for fitness, like where you, what do you get out
Yeah.
of my thing?
Yeah. So I was always the short kid,
Yeah.
always my whole life. So in middle school, I just kind of was pissed off at the world, and I was just like, I can't control my height, but I can control how I look, like muscular wise. So I just kind of decided. I think I started in 8th grade, started working out.
You started in 8th grade?
Very basic stuff. Like in my basement,
Okay.
I had one dumbbell. I was learning the basics.
I was going to say, were you like benching and squatting in 8th grade?
No. Just very basic stuff. It's
No, nothing
actually
against it. Like, there's
Yeah.
people that do that, but I just,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
studies that say, like, sometimes it could stunt growth. And I don't know if those are true or not. But
Yeah,
like,
so it's funny that you bring that up because that's what I was scared about.
yeah.
And it's hard when you're just starting because there's so much information everywhere that contradicts each other and nobody knows what's the right thing to do. So to like put on muscle fast without stunning your growth or whatever. So I ended up talking to James English my freshman year, who's this kid that I went to my high school. And I literally asked him in the bathroom. He was a senior when I was a freshman. Like, will lifting stunt my growth? And he basically told me as long as you keep your form good and you don't compromise going too heavy for your form, you're going to be fine. And this kid, I didn't give you guys the context, but he's like massive. He was like a Gymshark athlete. He's the one who works for More Plates, More Dates now.
Yeah.
So he's the one who basically inspired me to start lifting. I saw him walking around the high school and I was like, I want to look like that guy.
Yeah.
So started going to this gym downtown Amesbury, loved it, and body dysmorphia keeps me going. So
There you go.
With reason.
yeah,
With reason.
yeah, it's not a horrible
If
thing.
if it runs your life, that's
Which
where-
at times
that's where it gets a
it
little-
can kind of
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yep.
oh,
No, I'm the
because
same way.
I still go to the gym, and I'm like, no matter how much how many steroids I take, no matter how much I train, no matter how much I eat, I can never look like that guy over there
Right.
because their genetics are just so much better than
Right.
mine.
Yeah.
So that's where body dysmorphia can kind of like
Right.
get shitty.
But if you use it as a motivational factor, there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with that.
so it's a give and take thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, everyone's got demons that they gotta fight through. Like, I remember Nick and I were working out once. We were on the rowing machine, and I rowed for it was 5,000 meters straight or something like that.
It was
And
somewhere close
didn't
to
stop. And Nick looks over at me. He's like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
You put that on your story.
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
and
Dude.
I was like, "I'm getting the demons out, bro.
Yes,
I'm getting the
dude.
demons out."
Scary.
Isn't that the best feeling?
It's the
bro?
best feeling. When I finished, you looked at me like I was batshit, but when
You
I
were
finished,
bad shit.
when I finished, dude, I felt like a Greek god. I was like, I felt so good, and like, I felt joy. Like, there's a difference. We talked about this. There's a difference between happiness and joy.
Yeah.
I felt joy because I was like, hell yeah,
dude.
bro! I just fucking did that.
I'm telling
shit.
you need to do jujitsu because you
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Yeah.
You have to dig
All right, I'm
so
down.
deep. You have to dig so deep.
I'll join.
And the best feeling in
Yeah?
the world.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm not letting you back off on that now.
That's
If you
dude,
do,
that sounds
if you
sick.
train, do a competition, you have to like dig so deep because this other guy's giving
Should I just
everything.
become a UFC fighter?
Dude, the best feeling in the world is like having a jiu-jitsu competition and having the ref like raise your arm up after you like
Yeah.
tap the other guy out.
Yeah.
There's nothing that beats that.
Dude, I feel like I need a fighting sport in my life.
Do it, bro.
Like
I'm
not
telling you.
not like boxing or anything. 'Cause
No,
I
you
don't
wanna
want
spar?
I don't want head injuries.
No,
but
we'll find a boxing
I feel like
gym.
I have too much like inner rage not
No,
letting
like
out.
no,
or,
I
like,
feel that.
yeah.
I totally feel that.
I need to like
You
just
ever, like,
fucking
just-
elbow drops.
You ever get, dude? You ever gotten so pissed about something that you just like screamed into your pillow?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know how to let it out, so you
Yeah.
just screamed into your pillow for like a minute, and you felt so much better afterwards. Like I do that often.
You gotta get it out.
Yeah,
But-
you got to get it out. Something
yeah,
you can't keep that shit
exactly.
inside. Get your demons out any way you can.
The demons out, bro.
I feel like it's definitely good to have like those motivational moments in your life because
Yep.
I definitely
Oh,
have
yeah.
one too, and my
What's that?
motivational moment was, so after I got my surgery, I don't even know if I explained.
I don't
that
think
on
you've
here?
talked about it
No.
on the podcast, but
Okay.
you've talked to me about it.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'll have to explain it another time because we're talking about fitness and that'll get us way too off track. But so after I had surgery on my chest and I couldn't exercise for 3 months, that was my recovery time, and that was over the summer of my sophomore to junior year of high school.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could do was walk. I couldn't lift anything over 5 pounds, so I was just a pair of legs basically for the whole summer. And I had to be careful because I had to be careful with my chest.
Right.
So, during that summer, I was previously exercising. Like I did like CrossFit with my dad and just like lifted some weights, just basic stuff, kind of like what Hayden was doing when he was younger. But during the summer, my dad had a military event at his base. I believe it was a change of command
Mm-hmm.
for the commanders, but it was televised on like the local news and stuff, and I was sitting under a tent like for like the military's family and stuff, and there was a shot on TV, and I remember this because I was at my uncle's house and they like recorded it so they could show us that like, oh look, you guys were on TV, and they stopped it on the clip with me, and I just see myself in a button-up t-shirt and my arms are so fucking skinny. They were so skinny. They're like this. It was probably one of the skinniest times I've ever been, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like that
Yeah.
is. I need to like start
And that was-
exercising.
yeah, that
and
was
that
your
was
moment.
like I was like, I need.
You know what's
I need
funny
it.
about that, and I speak from that as a personal level and kind of what we've been talking about. But I guarantee you, your arms weren't that skinny. But just
Yeah.
because it was you,
Mhm.
like you immediately went to they're that skinny, and that's not about like I do the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah.
I do the exact same thing. Like when we have to edit these podcasts, I cringe because I hate how my voice sounds on
Yeah.
this thing. Hate it, absolutely hate
Isn't
it.
it weird?
It's so weird
It is
listening
weird.
to yourself. I hate it, dude. I hate how I'm so like throaty. Everything's in the back of my throat. Like I hate it.
Maybe we need to take speech classes.
But yeah,
Me.
yeah, love the college experience pod takes singing lessons.
Oh my god.
That'd be lit.
But
That'd be crazy.
yeah, man. So it's all about fighting demons. We didn't get to go into depth about things today, but we did talk about a lot.
Wait, I have something. I
Oh,
told
you
you
do?
I had something juicy for today.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
Wait, can I finish off?
Yeah,
real
you
quick?
finish and then I
So-
want to share some.
So, but that did pay off, that motivation I got from that moment, because literally that February of, like, coming around,
Yep.
of whatever year it was, I went to Utah with my dad, and I rode 6 days of, like, knee to waist deep powder.
Oh yeah.
6 days straight.
Yep.
So, like, I fucking pounded the gym out, and I got strong after that.
There you
It
go.
was fucking awesome. Great
go.
fucking
That's what
time.
it's all about, bro.
Felt like Zeus after that shit.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Anyway, what's his juice?
Yeah, I
see
told
the
you guys I got
juicy-
some juicy
Give me the
shit
juice.
today.
You got it
So,
written
oh
down.
wait, what do you guys? I was looking at the highest paid employees at UMass.
Okay.
So there's some seriously like unethical shit that no one is talking about. So what do you think the highest paid employee gets at UMass?
Highest paid employee gets or what
Like
the
their salary.
Are you talking teachers or like anyone?
All of the people that work for UMass, what's like the highest pay you think about?
Maybe
$3 million a year.
Whoa, $3 million, bro?
I'm,
As a salary?
I think 150K.
You guys have very different answers right now.
like maybe the top dog makes like a lot of money. But I
That
don't
you said
know.
overall in UMass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam the Minuteman's rolling in bands, dude.
All right. So
Yeah, let's hear it.
the associate dean of the College of Natural
First
Sciences.
off, are we allowed to be just spitting, throwing this out there?
I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving next semester. Bro. You guys don't have to
but
talk shit if you don't
for
want.
our sake, I'm gonna be real quiet during
I'm
this
allowed to
section.
talk all the shit I want, bro.
All right. You got this.
Associate Dean, College of Natural Sciences, $644,162 a year. Just to put that in perspective, the four-star general in the United States military, the highest rank that there is right now of anyone in the military, gets about $200K a year. So they get over 3 times as much as the
Wait,
highest
you said
rank.
$600K.
$644,000 a year. Bro, that's not
I'm
even.
I'm changing my major, bro. I'm a dean now.
Dude, okay, so they
What
want
the
us to get all
fuck?
these jobs in the workforce, right? Why don't you just work for a college and get paid racks on racks on racks? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
get
you
it.
have to like.
You're definitely in
Work
there for
up.
the long haul.
Yeah, like you-
There's so many
I'm
people.
sure these guys
there's
have
a
been here
list.
for 30
There's
years.
a list of like 20 people that work here that have salaries over 300K.
And what do they do? Are they all in like the
Okay,
associate office
so
and stuff like that?
okay, so head coach of the football team, $337,500 a year.
Yeah. Okay. Don
He
Brown.
also,
Let's go.
No.
Winning season.
Watt Bell.
He better be.
Watt
fucking-
Bell, he got fired because I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
they sucked. So he
1-11,
was getting
baby.
paid $337,000 a year to go 1-11.
Oh my god.
Like, what? Are you kidding me?
All right, I'm a
And-
coach.
and
now.
I'm looking-
a
I
coach.
looked it up.
Coaches get
The
paid a
next coach that they're hiring, they don't know who it is yet, I guess, but they're gonna
lot. For football?
yeah.
Yeah, they do. Don Brown.
No, but I think they're hiring someone else. The article that I read said that they're I don't know exactly. I think it came out mid-November. I don't know if it's changed since then, but the next person that they're hiring to be the head coach of the team is gonna get $625K a year.
Well, they hired Don Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be him that's getting that. I don't know exactly for sure, but so I did the math out, and out of state tuition, $36K a year, in-state tuition, $16K a year. So the associate dean of the College of Natural Sciences gets over 39 students' tuitions every year. Is that not absolutely insane, bro? 39 in-state students, 18 out-of-state students. That's fucking insane, bro.
Wow.
That's insane. Like that, I don't know how that's allowed. And for the football coach thing, so I don't know. If you love football, you should be a football coach, and if you love being a football coach, you should do that. But $337,000 a year, bro, and 50% of it is program generated. So probably like selling tickets at the football games.
Yeah.
I don't know how else
Yeah.
they would make money, like advertising maybe.
Jersey
But
sales now because the NCAA allows
Sure.
that.
But 50% coming straight from our tuition.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. That's why it's
Wow.
so much.
That's insane. I
Let's
read
go.
that
You
today and I was
should
like,
Be a coach.
yeah, dude, that's
Alright.
fucking insane. Okay, last question. We got one on Instagram because I put it on my story.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight?
Between the three of us,
Yeah.
That's
without a
okay,
doubt,
and
Hayden.
No, but he has the reach on us.
Doesn't matter. You do jujitsu.
That is a good point.
I don't do
That is a
jujitsu.
good point.
So if he keeps
I have-
me at striking
I have-
distance, he would win. But if I can get you grappling,
Yeah.
I think I would win.
Yes, probably.
Okay.
Good,
Wait, you're
there's a
gonna give
very
him
good
the striker? Hold on.
Over you?
You're gonna give him the striker?
Well, no,
over
I
me?
said he's got the reach.
Oh
Who's
yeah,
got
he's
more
got the
reach?
reach.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
I
saying.
grab the jersey here and I go to town,
Okay,
bro.
okay. All right.
Sorry, I
That's
just really
okay.
sure.
You guys
I'm
got
not-
anything
I
else?
have no. See, that's also why I want to do like jujitsu. I have no fighting experience. Like,
yeah,
I feel
dude,
weird.
And jujitsu's
I don't
like
know.
pretty safe.
Yeah.
Like you stop before you get too hurt. You just tap out. Like it's
Yeah.
unless you're in a competition.
You have a gauge for yourself.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Unless you're in a competition, you
Right.
you stop before you get hurt.
Yeah.
And there's just something about it. I tell people, like,
Yeah.
it's about you bring someone so close to like death in jujitsu, and then you just stop. Like you literally choke them out until they can't breathe, and then you just stop.
Holy
It's
shit.
literally the most alpha shit that you can do, bro. Because
unless
you're
you're,
literally
unless you're on the receiving end of that.
yeah,
joke.
no. But you're literally telling this person like you're my bitch now. Like I literally just choked you out so that you had to tap out.
Jesus.
Is that not the sickest thing ever? I don't know. That's
I mean,
what
you could
draws
just
me
walk
to
into
it.
Spoke this weekend and just beat a guy up, and there you go. That's the same.
I love it. I think
No,
you guys
I
would love it too.
yeah, no, I think I will love it,
We'll
and
have to
that's why
try it
I
out.
can't wait to sign up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
got-
I'm gonna hold you to that,
Yeah,
Nick.
I want to
Yeah,
try
do
it.
it, do it.
I'm gonna
Alright.
try. I'll try it. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to wrap up for this week. We're getting kicked out of the sound booth soon. Hopefully, we'll have our own studio. But this was episode 4, The College Experience. Find us on
Yes,
Spotify at The College Experience. We've posted 2 on there now, editing 3, and hopefully we'll be putting 3 out soon. Go find us on Instagram, College Experience Pod. We saw that there was a lot of views on our last video. Let's keep that going, guys. All right. See you later.
Peace.